Should Christians be anti-war? The question came to mind recently when I, like so many others, was made aware of the deconversion story of this fellow who sang with DC Talk. And in his public announcement that he made about him leaving the evangelical church, he had a list of things that he was for and a list of things he was against. He was pro-peace and pro-war. And I thought, does that mean that he thinks that the evangelical church is pro-war and anti-peace? Does that mean that he thinks that pacifism is the right way to go at all times? Because, again, when you look at a lot of the other things that he would be against or for, you might think, oh, I don't know, he might support a war against the Nazis. So I'm just puzzled by that idea. So I thought it'd be helpful to answer that question. Are Christians supposed to be anti-war? Well, Christians are supposed to be anti-war in this sense. Christians first are not to support unjust wars. One of the earliest and greatest theologians in the history of the church was St. Augustine, who started the conversation and did great work on the conversation about what constitutes, biblically speaking, just war. And the short version of the answer is that just war is defensive war. Just war is a war that you fight when you're being attacked. There's a severe problem with pacifism in that it does not eliminate war. It just means you lose. And not just you, but the people that you care for and the people that you're called to protect. So to be being anti-war means I don't believe that I should protect my wife, or I don't believe I should protect my children, then there's something profoundly unbiblical and wrong about that. That said, Christians should be anti-war in the sense that we're against aggressive war, which means we're opposed to those who attack us. We're opposed to we're not saying, well, it's okay for you to attack us, we'll just fight you back. No, it's not okay. It's wrong. So what does that mean? Does that mean we're anti-war? No, we're not anti-war in the sense that, well, I guess it's one way to put it is this. All wars are wrong. Not all participation in a war is wrong. Take a very simple illustration with World War II and the Japanese bombing of Pearl Harbor. We'll just, for the sake of convenience, stick with the Pacific Theater. Was the World War II and the Pacific Theater wrong? Yes, it was wrong. Who was guilty of the wrong? Japan was guilty of the wrong. Was it wrong for the United States to fight back against Japan? Of course not. Japan bombed the United States. So I'm anti-World War II in the sense that I wish no one had ever started it. I wish it never had to happen. And I'm glad that the people that I'm most likely to identify with are not the aggressors in that war. Sad to say, I would argue ever since then we have been aggressors in wars, and we've not been engaged by and large in just war. And it is true that many evangelicals have a unthinking, jingoistic, nationalistic perspective on war. Evangelicals tend to be in favor of the United States government going and bombing this country or bombing that country, and I disagree with that too. I didn't have to leave the faith to do that. I had to, in fact, keep the faith to do that. I suggest that the Bible is clear, and that St. Augustine was right and accurate, and that Christians have a duty to not support wars of aggression. But they also have the duty to fight against wars of aggression when those wars of aggression come to our own shores. So, should Christians be anti-war? Well, like so many of the questions, the answer is yes and no. The devil is in the details, so be careful and not jingoistic, even if your jingoism is against war.